one sticks, tethered one sticks, which in my opinion are hands down the best climbing sticks on the market. They weigh 15 ounces each. And what I'm going to do is paint these because they have a sheen to them. It's been misty, raining all day, so it's overcast. Might be hard to see the sheen, but there is definitely a sheen to this titanium metal and the coating on it. And as well as this, you know, this is black. When you're hunting deer that are smart, like public land in heavily pressured private areas, you know, you put something black against a gray tree, it's pretty easy to see. And deer notice that stuff because typically when you're putting this on the tree, it hasn't been there before. It's not like you're leaving one sticks in trees and you got 30 setups with sticks in them. You know, you're moving the sticks from tree to tree as you hunt. So it's something new, and it's, you know, it's an immediate difference in a visual when a deer's walking through the timber. Just like putting a black camera with a black strap around a tree, a motion camera. That's an immediate visual. I've talked to several guys that have had big mature bucks spooked. Just seeing a camera, even though the wind was in the correct direction, you know, the deer were upwind of the actual camera, they saw the black strap going around the tree. So details matter when you're hunting mature deer in pressured areas. And this is unacceptable. This sheen is unacceptable. This gray on this color of a tree, you know, if that was a drab, flat gray, that might be okay. The black is definitely not acceptable. So I'm going to paint them with this flat gray first as a base color, because this flat gray is kind of more what most bark looks like on trees. And then I'm going to splotch them with this flat brown. So I'm going to paint them. And first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take these the straps off here, the SAM steel rope, which you tether it to the tree with, and I'm gonna paint everything from the bottom up. So I don't care what the top looks like, because when you have steps in a tree, if the top is black, that's okay, because that's not where a deer can actually see. The deer's actually looking at the facing of this stuff, you know, the front facing and the actual stick itself. So, you know, I'm going to paint the top as well, but I'm going to set them up and paint them in a manner where if some of the top doesn't get painted, it's not a big deal. And I'm doing this relatively early in the year so that the odor will dissipate of the paint. And then I'm also going to, tomorrow, I'm going to my Amish shop, which I posted a YouTube video on it, and I'm going to have him put aiders on these, single step aiders on 2 of them, because there's 3 of them here. I have more in the garage I've already had done, and a double step aider on the bottom one that I'm going to use at the base of the tree. In fact, I might even have him do two doubles and a single. Before season, obviously, I'm going to wash the aiders and I'm going to wipe down the actual stick itself with scent-free wipes, and then I'm going to only handle them with my scent lock gloves on beyond that point. But I suggest not using stealth strips on these because stealth strips are fabric. Fabric holds odors. Anything that's fabric is porous. Anything porous holds odors, human odors. So as soon as you handle them with your hands, you can't get that odor out of there really. You know, it may dissipate over time if you leave it outside, but it's just better if it's a bare steel or bare titanium. It's so much easier to just wipe it down because it's smooth and you can get the odor off it. And then again, I'm going to wash the aiders as well in a wash tub in the back room of my house by my washer and dryer, and then leave them outside to air dry. You know, I suggest taking off the straps before you paint them. And these new one sticks actually have a button on the bottom, so they're a lot easier to wrap your AM steel rope around. So I'm going to take these down to the actual bare stick, and then I'm going to paint them. Paint right over top of the one stick, the word. Paint the button. Paint the sides. Paint the bottom. As you can see, I'm just using a screw-in step to hold it up. Doesn't have to be pretty, doesn't have to be perfect. Deer don't care what it looks like. As long as they can't see it, they don't care, obviously. Always keep in mind, cosmetics don't matter when you're deer hunting. Doesn't matter what you look like, as long as you can't be seen and you can't get picked. See too many guys worrying about cosmetics, man. They buy stuff that's pretty and it's well known and it's popular. That doesn't help you kill anything. It's all about technology as far as killing animals. Keeping up with scent-free technology. I know sometimes it's a shame to paint this pretty one-stick word, but that's okay. And this is just Bark Gray Camo spray paint. This one's made by Hunter Specialties. Rust-Oleum also makes some. In fact, Rust-Oleum probably makes this for Hunter Specialties. You don't have to wait for it to dry. If you're doing 3 or 4 sticks, the first one you did should be fine for putting on some blotch. So now we're going to put some OD green over this gray, and you'll notice anytime you paint something and I just throw them on some sticks over here in the brush and I rub some of the paint off. So that's where I'm going to make sure I paint with this color. That's all you need to do as far as touching up the with the oddball color. Just break it up a little bit. I also have a set of Skeletors. Skeletors are aluminum. They're 2 pounds a piece. They're tethered. I also have some out on a limb sticks, and they're about 2 pounds a piece as well. They're made out of aluminum as well. All of them are excellent sticks. These are just light. These are just super easy to carry in the timber. They stack very well. They attach to the tree very easily. You can attach them to a very, very large tree. And what's cool about these, most sticks that have the buttons on them, once you hook them up to the tree, they slack down until they're tight when you put weight on them. These here, because of the way this works, basically when you wrap the am steel around the tree, you can keep it tight, straight in line with the circle of the tree. So it doesn't, you don't have to put much pressure on it to bring it down. A lot of times you'll hook up a stick with a lot of these straps and you'll put it here, and by the time you put your weight in it, it drops down 3 inches. With this one here, with these, once you put your weight in them, it may drop down 1 inch at the most. They don't drop down much if you put them on tight because you're putting it on snug when you attach them to the tree. Keep that in mind when you get sticks. If they're black, if there's something that's gaudy against a gray tree, you know, take them out, put them, set them up, hold them up next to a tree, multiple trees, the types of trees you hunt the most from. And make sure that the colors somewhat match so it's not a visual difference as a deer's walking through the woods. I know it's a minor deal, but trust me, every minor deal ends up making a big deal. Take care of your sticks, and again, try not to use stealth strips if you're worried about your scent control regimen, because stealth strips or anything you put on here that's fabric is going to hold human odor. Well, I just got back from the harness shop having aiders put on my new one sticks, the ones that I painted yesterday, and I am on Tethered's Pro staff. These are their Skeletors, which I have painted. I didn't like the colors of them. They were very pretty cosmetically, but I wanted them to blend more into the bark of the tree. So I painted them, two-tone kind of camo. And I also have aiders on these, which I will wash in scent-free detergent for the scent control regimen program prior to season, and then I will only handle these with my scent lock gloves on once season starts. Also, I don't like using stealth strips, which I've explained on several occasions, on anything metal, because stealth strips are fabric and they're porous and they hold human odors, because you will handle them with your hands. So it's not something you can wash off. You can't throw these in the washing machine. So instead of stealth strips, I chose to paint mine. I've painted my bows back before camo was on bows. I painted my bows in the 60s and 70s with regular old paint. So that's what I did with these sticks. Now these are, again, these are Skeletors. There's a set of 4 here. And this is a set of 1 sticks. And in my opinion, the 1 sticks, they're hard to get, but they're the best sticks on the market by far, because they don't weigh anything. They're super light, 15 ounces each. And these have single step aiders on them, just like the Skeletors did, except on the bottom stick. The 1 stick that I'm going to use on the bottom has a double aider on it, because at the bottom I can easily reach up and put it on. And the reason I have these straps on here, these are just cinch straps, I actually have a belt with loops on the side, on both sides, just little loops, and basically I can put that belt on when I'm getting ready to prep a tree, and then I use my lineman rope on my saddle, and as I'm going up the tree I can just take these off one at a time. Basically they're going to be right here on my side. I just got back from the harness shop probably 20 minutes ago, and I actually had him use Camouflage nylon strapping. So I have 2 of them here. These are 1 sticks, but these are also 2-step aiders and a single-step aider. It just makes it a lot lighter, a lot easier to carry through the woods. It's not as cumbersome as carrying longer sticks. And you can wrap this up around here, just like I did on these. So if anybody's interested, it doesn't matter what kind of sticks you have, this Amish harness shop that I go to, the guy's name is Noah. I actually have 2 videos on my YouTube channel about the Amish shop, and each of them have his number on it. But just in case you're interested, and his phone number is 989-506-0721. 989-506-0721. Does a great job with aiders. He doubles this up in the front so that over time it won't wear through the nylon. It's a double nylon strap right here at the top. And he has aider fabric that kind of will blend into the tree. These here happen to be Camouflage. These new sticks, these are the new tethered 1 sticks, and I just painted them because they had a sheen to them, and these were jet black. Anytime you have something on the tree that's very obvious and noticeable, it's a visual difference from the day before, that's not good. So paint it to match as best you can the bark of whatever types of trees you hunt the most frequently. Because when you're using aiders, you're not leaving the sticks in the trees, you know, so the deer can get used to them. You're basically, every time you move locations, you're taking your sticks down and putting them in a new tree. So you don't want that visual of something different in the tree when the deer go by, because it's very likely, if you're hunting in a pressured area, that a mature buck will see that, visually see it if it's in his line of sight, and possibly turn around and leave. If you're hunting TV type properties and micromanaged stuff, it ain't gonna happen. Those deer are relatively easy to kill, and they don't pay attention to details like deer in pressured areas. You know, you got to get back in the junk. You actually have to know how to hunt to kill deer in pressured areas. You can't just hunt over a food plot in a box blind and have deer come in and shoot them at will. So anyway, sticks with aiders, big deal. Paint them if you have the opportunity. Get the sheen off them. Change the color so it's not black against a gray tree. And try not to use stealth strips if you're trying to do a scent regimen, because stealth strips hold odors. That Amish shop is the same guy that actually can make alterations and modifications to your ESS. So if you do buy an ESS, or if you do have an ESS and you want to modify it like mine, give him a call. He can do it. He knows how to do it. You might want to tell him your waist size when you talk to him, because that will make a difference in the length of the actual bridge, but he can make modifications to an ESS to make it a little bit, I guess, simpler to use. Doesn't change how it hunts whatsoever. It hunts the same, still a 2-panel saddle, but it makes it a little bit simpler to use. So if that's of any interest to anybody, his name is Noah. Again, I'm going to give you his number. You can mail the stuff to him. He'll fix it and mail it back, fix it or modify it or add aiders to your sticks or whatever. His name's Noah, and the number again is 989-506-0721. I do not get a kickback from this, so please don't think that I do. Number's 989-506-0721. He's got all the materials, stitching, threads, sewing machine, to make anything you want. You can make stuff out of 4 layers of heavy leather and he can stitch it together, because it's an Amish shop and they make bridles and saddles and all kinds of things. So keep that in mind. And also on these sticks, on the 1 sticks that I showed, and even on my Skeletors, I take the Amsteel straps off. Just makes them easier to stack. And then I usually, when I'm going up the tree placing them, I keep these in my pocket, one of my pockets. Then I just pull them out on an as-need basis. You know, if I'm going to use 4 sticks, I put 4 of these in my pocket, and then I just pull them out while I'm going up the tree, untie them, hook them to the stick I'm putting up, and go up, and then pull out another one out of my pocket. Nice, easily accessible. And then I don't have to worry about those ropes getting messed up on the sticks or anything. It's just really, really easy. Just quadruple them over, tie them in a little half-hitch knot. They're real easy to untie. So anyway, thanks again for watching. If interested, the links to many of the podcasts I've been on, or for information about my 2-day whitetail workshops that take place in March and April, please visit my website at deer-john.net. Thank you for watching another episode of Eberhart Outdoors, and to receive notifications for future videos, please subscribe.